Welcome everybody to the inaugural podcast of BREEZY Takes Manhattan. And what can I just say? It's a great honor to be doing the show to you live tonight from Manhattan, New York, in the greatest city of the world, New York City. And it's not something I take lightly, and I feel so great that I get to be here and do this show. And yeah, let's get to it. So, who am I, you may ask? My name is Justin, but my nickname is Breezy, and it's a nickname that actually started all the way back in summer camp when I was 12 years old. And I had the nickname in high school, and it carried over to college. And it's continued in the after college real adult world too. It's crazy, but that's my nickname. So my name is Justin, but for all intents and purposes, I am Breezy, which is why the podcast is called BREEZY Takes Manhattan. And I can't wait to get started. Now, a lot of you are probably wondering what qualifies me to do a podcast. And the answer is nothing, really. I'm just sitting here with a microphone and headphones, and I'm just going to talk about what I experience in this wonderful city. And everyone can do the same thing, so we should all just try podcasting, right? Let's give it a shot. But for those who don't know, I lived in Los Angeles the last 8 years. It's a wonderful, amazing city. The weather is beautiful every single day. The people there are creative and cool and wonderful to be around. And now I've moved to my dream city, New York City, where I wanted to live since I was a little kid. And I came here for the first time to see The Lion King on Broadway. I think it's still on Broadway. That's been a very long Broadway show. And it's a really good one. And that started my love affair with the city, and it's never really ended. Every time I come here, I feel the magical vibes and energy of the city. And to be able to live here now, I cannot be more excited. And it's only my second week here, so I guess you can say that I'm taking my first big bite out of the Big Apple, and it's a really big move. And I think for something like this, visual representation is really important. So look at the size of this apple. I mean, it's a huge apple. It's ginormous. So you can say that I'm taking my first big bite out of the Big Apple. So why don't we do that in visual form? Couldn't taste better. Everyone knows the first bite of the apple is unbelievable, and my first bite has been unbelievable. So I've been here, this is my second full week here, and I feel like I've been doing something new every day. It's just been a wild journey of adventures. I started with my favorite place in New York City, which is Central Park, and I'm learning so many wonderful, great things about Central Park every single time I go, because the nature of Central Park is each time you go, you can go a completely different way. It could take you to a completely different part of the city. And there's no getting bored of it because it's new every time. So when I went a week ago, I ended up by that castle. I think it's called the Belvedere Castle. And I ended up leaving Central Park on the Upper East Side, I think on like 77th in New York. And then I went again yesterday, and I ended up back on 7th Avenue and 57th Street. There's no way to get bored of Central Park. The vibes there are unbelievable. It's just so full of life. There's families walking around. There's tourists. There's locals. There's people jogging. There's kids playing catch. There's people taking pictures. There's people getting married. People getting married there in the, like that tree lodge area by the front. And there's just every single area of Central Park is just so full of life and beauty, and it'll always be my favorite place, I think. It's always been. I always make sure to go there. When I worked in the city in previous summers, I would go there every single day on my lunch break, just to walk around and enjoy the sun and enjoy the people and enjoy the atmosphere. And I don't think it's ever going to get old. And I wish I could really go every day, but, we have to work for a living, all of us. So it's kind of hard, but I'm going to try to go at least once a week. I mean, so far it's been a lot of walking around, and there's no better place to do that than Central Park. Sorry about that. And, there's so many different places in Central Park to take pictures, too. You have the area by the 6th and 7th Avenue with all the buildings, with the Plaza Hotel, and there's kind of like a bunch of rocks in front where you can take pictures, and that's a great spot. You can keep walking behind the baseball fields, and you can get a further distance shot of the pictures, which is another great shot. And then there's also lakes. Yes, there are lakes in Central Park, for those of you who don't know. And I think one of them is called the Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis Reservoir. And when I was there a week ago, people were racing sailboats and rooting their boats on and watching from the side. And it was a really wonderful sight. What doesn't Central Park have? They have lakes. They have scenic views of buildings. They have scenic views of land, just grass and castles and buildings and food stands. And I can't. I could get into Central Park like for hours. It's my favorite place. And I don't know how anyone cannot want to spend time there. I mean, if you love life and you just love seeing people walking around and you just love being a part of the world itself, go to Central Park. It's my favorite place. I'm going to try to talk about something else, but that's just my favorite place. I do want to talk a little bit about my experience in Los Angeles, where I came from. I really had 8 incredible years there. I had so many amazing friends who I'm going to miss very much. The weather being beautiful every day, it sounds like a dream world. But, when it's like that for 8 years, you kind of take it for granted. You get used to it. And even the 2 weeks I've been here, it's rained so much. It's very cold. And that's something you really can't replace. It's just that you never had to worry about weather there, hardly ever. You had to worry about wildfires, which you don't have to worry about here. But there's just nothing like just knowing every single day is going to be sunny. And, you can go on walks. You can do whatever you want because it's sunny. You never have to worry about weather there hardly. And that's something I will miss. And it's something that I did take for granted a little bit, and I wish I didn't. But look, it wasn't easy to leave a place that you're very comfortable in. I really did get comfortable there. I got used to the lifestyle there. I got used to that weather. I didn't want to leave that. It's been in the back of my mind moving to New York my whole life, even my whole time there. I think I wanted to really started to put it into action about a year ago. And perhaps I was a year too late. I really wanted to do it last year, but I just couldn't do it. And a big part of that, and what I'm going to talk about now, is moving out is terrible. I mean, there's really nothing worse. My LA apartment had a lot of different rooms that had to be cleared out. There were clothes in there I haven't seen in 4 years since I first moved in. My closet took days to clear. You have to get people to move your furniture or get rid of it. You have to get your kitchen appliances out. You have to get all your objects out. I mean, does anybody like moving? It's terrible. It was something I was dreading. And I think that's why I stayed in LA so long, was I just didn't want to move out because it's such a pain in the behind. But, once it's done, it feels so good. Once you are able to do it and you see the empty room, you're sad, you're sentimental about your time ending, but, it feels good to be over. I mean, moving out is the worst thing ever. And now I've been experiencing moving in, which is also not fun, but it's nothing like moving out. Moving out is just the worst. Moving in, there's excitement. You're in a new place. You get to kind of align your new place the way you want it. You get to bring in new objects, new items, maybe new decorations. So moving out is still always going to be the worst. But moving in is not easy. I've been here 2 weeks, and I still don't have a real bed. I've been sleeping on an air mattress, which is very comfortable, but it's not the same as having a set bed. I just got my desk like a couple days ago. I just got my TV yesterday. I just got bar stools. Moving in it's a long process. It takes a long time to feel settled. And it certainly did. My first night here, I was kind of worried about it. I thought the bigness of the move, as indicated again by Apple size. The bigness of the move I thought was really going to hit me when I had my first night alone in this apartment, and it did. It was pretty scary for a couple hours. It's just like processing. I really left behind a whole nother life to come here, and it's not easy to do, and it's something that you can't be sure about until you actually do it, and you're always going to have anxiety, and you're always going to worry that it's not going to work out. But lucky for me, so far it's worked out, and I've been trying to keep busy. Today I walked the Brooklyn Bridge for the first time. If you've never done it, I highly recommend. It is absolutely beautiful. Obviously you need to go when it's not raining, and it's better to go when it's sunny. It was kind of cloudy today, but you can see so much. You can see the Manhattan Bridge next to it. You can see the buildings behind you. If you turn around, you can see the buildings in Brooklyn. You can see the water. You can see boats. You can see planes, helicopters. You can see everything. It's an amazing view. And on the Brooklyn side, there's a wonderful Prospect Park beneath the bridge with amazing lobster rolls. Thank you to Luke's Lobster Shop. Had an amazing lobster roll and clam chowder there. And you can just walk around, take pictures. You could sit and look out at the water and at both bridges and at the city. That's the other direction. And it's just a really wonderful and magical experience. And I'm so happy I got to go today. It's something I've always wanted to do. I didn't even go to Brooklyn until I moved here. I had spent a whole life away from Brooklyn, and now I've been twice. And it's something I really want to explore more. I really want to learn every part of Brooklyn, just like I want to learn every part of New York City. And I really want to make it a goal to try to visit every single area of New York City, because there's so many, and I've not even scratched the surface yet. So I live in Murray Hill, which is kind of like, it's kind of near Grand Central Station. It's near Midtown. But so far, I've been able to experience the West Village. I went there for the first time last night. I went to a place called the Spaniard, which is a very chatty, kind of like tightly placed bar. Like everyone's kind of close together. I had an amazing night. It was great. It's a great place to meet people. And yeah, West Village, I hear, is a newly kind of popping area with a lot of people my age there. So I am excited to spend some time there. I've been to Upper West Side. I went to a comedy show at the New York Comedy Club. I highly recommend that as well. I had a great time. It was a great show. And, the Upper West Side is quiet. It's not an action-packed area, but there's a certain serenity about it that is just really nice to just walk around. Like, there's a lot of older buildings that are made out of brick, a lot of red brick buildings. And, but there's just a nice feel to it. There's like a quiet, peaceful feel to it. And, I want to make it a goal to just to go there and go on walks. I don't even need to go anywhere. Maybe I'll grab a bite to eat or a drink, but there's no need to just go anywhere. I just want to walk, as long as Upper West Side goes. And the same thing can be said for Upper East Side. It's kind of quiet, but the buildings are really nice. You can walk a long time and see a lot of different types of buildings, and there's a lot of food places there, a lot of bars as well. I've spent some time there. I've been there a couple times in my 2 weeks. I think I went when I went to Central Park the first time I moved in. I ended up there on 77th in New York, and then I went another time, and you can just keep walking and walking and walking, and you'll see all new areas and all new places, and that is what is so wonderful about New York City. It's really, there's no other city like it, and I say it's the greatest city in the world, and I'll argue with anyone about it, because I think it is. So far it has been, because you can do something new every day. There's so many things I haven't even done yet. Examples: I want to do puppy yoga somewhere. I want to go to Times Square, which is an area a lot of people don't like. I've heard, I think I'm the only person who does, but I don't know what's not to like about it. There's beautiful lights. And there's places to eat. There's places to drink. There's plenty of walkable blocks. There's a lot of tourists there. But what's wrong with tourists? They're just enjoying this amazing city like we are. Like us locals now. Wow, I can't believe I'm actually local. Like, that's crazy. Just say that I live in New York City. I've been waiting my whole life for this. It's just, Sometimes I have to pinch myself just to make sure. But it's real, and I'm here, and it's wonderful. But yeah, I definitely want to go to Times Square. I want to go to the Statue of Liberty, which I think I went when I was very little, but I didn't go in, and I think you can go in. I heard you can go in. So I want to be sure to do that. I want to spend some time in Chelsea. That's an area I heard is very fun. I took a walk there before I moved in a few months ago by the river there, but I haven't spent any time there since I moved in. And a big one is Chinatown. I want to eat in Chinatown so badly because I did about probably a year ago. I ate there with my uncle, and best Chinese food I've ever had, hands down. There's no contest. It was unbelievable. And it was reasonably priced. It wasn't insanely priced at all. So, yeah, I need to hit Chinatown soon. And I'm very open to recommendations of places. And so I want the show to be an interactive show. I plan on taking questions if the audience asks. I'm going to read out a couple questions each show. I hope to eventually have guests on the show to talk about their experience in New York, and if they don't live in New York, where they live, what they like to do in their area. I just want to learn about the other person who I have on the show. So I do want this to be an interactive show, but for now I'm starting from scratch. I'm just going to see kind of how it flows and how this show progresses. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much to do here, and for those of you who know me well, you know I'm a big sports fanatic. And, a large part of the reason that I've always dreamed about living in New York City is that you could go to Knicks games, Ranger games, football games, Mets games, Yankee games. When I was a kid, I couldn't just go to a game. I had to go with their parents. But now, as an adult, I can just go whenever I want. And it's unbelievable to have that freedom. I've been here 2 weeks. I've already been to 3 baseball games. I'm going to one tomorrow. The Knicks are in the playoffs right now. They actually had a huge win tonight to kind of – their season was on life support. If they lost this game, it pretty much would have been over. So they won tonight, and they're right back in it, hopefully. I haven't gone to a Knicks playoff game yet because it's so much money. It's really outrageous. It's like I think the cheapest ticket's probably $800. It's crazy. But I'm enjoying the cheap baseball games, which are usually – you can probably get in for $25 most of the games, which is wonderful. And I'm very close to Grand Central. I'm about a 10-minute walk. And you can go to Citi Field where the Mets play, 20-minute train ride. Yankee Stadium is like a 30-minute train ride, maybe even less. So it's just, I'm so excited about the sports scene here. But, I've learned already in my 2 weeks, it's very fickle. There's been nights recently where the Mets and Knicks both won, like tonight, and that was pretty fun. There's nights where they both have lost. Like the other night when I went to the Mets game and had to sit in a 2-hour rain delay, and then I left after 8 innings. I didn't even get through the whole game. The Knicks lost while I was at the Mets game, which stunk. And then the Mets game ended up going 13 innings. So I didn't even get to see. There were 5 innings after I left, and I left at like almost midnight. Not a fun night, and it's a reminder that sports are very fickle. So, I need to manage my expectations about that. But I am excited to have the ability to go to all these games as I please. Another big factor of New York is pizza. I lived in Los Angeles for 8 years, and I'm sorry to anybody who loves LA. The pizza there is not real. It's not real pizza. The best place in LA is would be the 10th best place I've had here. There's just something about the pizza here. I don't know if it's the water. I don't know if it's the dough. Maybe it's both. I don't know if it's the cheese. I don't know if it's the sauce. I don't know if it's the seasoning. I don't know what it is, but the pizza here is on another level compared to what I've had the last 8 years. And really, I think compared to anywhere. I hear Chicago has great pizza. I have never really been to Chicago as an adult, so I can't confirm if that's true or not. But I would argue there's no better pizza than New York. And I've been trying to, it's hard to resist when you're walking around and there's so many pizza places on every street. So I've been trying to kind of try the different places around me and see what's good and see what's not good. So far, the best place I've found is Privetti Pizza, which I mean, nobody told me about it. Nobody's really heard of it, but so far that's the best I've had. I'm trying to beat it, and I'm going to go to as many pizza places as I need to beat that place, because I want this to be something where the title holder is constantly changing because of how much amazing pizza I'm having here. And pizza is a big part of New York. There's no question about it. That's why there's so many places. You go down every street, almost every street, there's pizza. So I'm very excited to have my share of pizza while I'm here. And speaking of food, I'm going to introduce a segment to this show which is really mind-boggling and crazy. I'm going to try new fruits and vegetables every single episode. And for those of you who don't know what this is a tomato, a Roma tomato. And I have never had a tomato, at least intentionally. It's very possible that in the past I've been into a sandwich and accidentally maybe there was tomato in there and bit it that way, but I've never tasted it. I don't know what it tastes like. I admit that I'm very juvenile with my food habits, and if something looks or smells disgusting, I usually don't want to eat it. And for some reason, when I looked at a tomato, I've always felt disgusted by it, and I've never tried it. And that moment's about to change. And here we go. This is disgusting. Oh my God. It's it kind of tastes like it has the texture of a plum, but it's like there's a weird taste to it. I'm not a fan. I don't need to take more than one bite. I think you've all seen enough. Oh my God. Ugh. I'm not gonna miss not eating tomatoes. I think I'll survive without ever having a tomato again. And by the way, if you can guess what I'm drinking, you will win a prize. And you're not eligible if I already told you what I'd be having on the podcast. But if you can really guess and don't know, you will win a prize. And it's a hint. Here's a hint. It's not water. So we can get that out of the way. It's not water. I think I just want to really express my feelings of how I feel when I'm walking the streets of New York, because it's a feeling I've really never had anywhere else. The lights, the people. There's people everywhere. And, a lot of people are introverts. They don't like people. They don't like talking to people. You don't even have to. It's just being around people. It gives me an energy that's, I think, very healthy and very good. And the noise. A lot of people don't like the noise. They don't like all the sirens. They don't like the sound of honking in traffic. I love it. I think it's a very important part of the city. It's why I've left one of the windows open so that any authentic New York sounds that would be heard will be heard on this podcast. I think there's nothing to hide about the noise here. I think the noise is an important part of the city. And, during the day it's very nice, but at night when you see all the lights of all the different buildings, it's just there's a wonderful beauty about it. And I haven't felt it anywhere else. Los Angeles was amazing, beautiful as well. Beautiful land, beautiful homes, beautiful landscapes, some really beautiful hikes. Santa Monica Mountains as an example, Hollywood Hills as an example. Beautiful homes in Studio City as well. But there's just a different feel about New York. Like it's all bunched together. There's no escaping. You can't go anywhere in New York without seeing people, without hearing noise, without seeing tall buildings. It's very unique and wonderful in that kind of way. And, it's something I could talk all night about. But, I'm trying to keep it succinct for purposes of this podcast. But, I would describe myself as awestruck when I walk in the streets here. And it's been that way since I was 5 years old and came here for the first time. And it hasn't gone away. And one of my few fears about moving here was that once that awestruckness goes away, it won't be the same. Well, we're only 2 weeks in, but it has not gone away one bit. It has even enhanced, you can say. I get no other feeling like when I'm here. And it's just, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm happy to be able to talk to you and share my wonderful experiences I'm having here with all of you. And one thing I have learned early in my time here is that it's really expensive, New York City. Every meal, you're not going to probably get it for under $15. Alcohol's already expensive, so you got to limit how much you do. And with there's almost too much pizza and dessert places, because it's very hard to walk 10 or 20 blocks and not stop to get anything to eat when there are so many mouth-watering places around. So it's going to take some time to really practice the healthy habits that I want to practice here. But I'm committed to this process, and I'm committed to everything I need to do to have an amazing experience here. And I've met so many wonderful people already, and it's already been 2 weeks. I didn't have the best experience when I grew up in New York with people. I thought that people were really shallow and kind of rude, but I haven't had that at all. Not at all since I've been back. I think people are very honest here. They're very straightforward, and that's how I would describe myself. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with being honest. So that was one of my few fears, was that maybe the people wouldn't be nice to me, or nice. But so far, it hasn't been a problem at all. People have been very nice, more than I even expected. A lot of smiling faces, a lot of happy people, too. In LA, everyone was always happy. So, it made for a lot of nice people. And I'm getting the same feeling here. And I was concerned that maybe the bad weather and the cold would kill the vibes. Hasn't so far. It's been immaculate. It's been incredible. And I got a long way to go. I'm only here 2 weeks. If I keep the same pace I've been doing, I might run out of energy very soon. I think it's important to pace myself. I've been trying to do like an activity every day. I need to accept that there's going to be some days where I don't need to do activities. I can just kind of work, maybe just go for a little walk, a couple blocks here or there, and then just hang at the apartment. But, it's going to take time to really develop a healthy lifestyle here, but I'm very committed to it. So I think this has been a very good first show. I'm going to have a lot more to talk about as the weeks go on. I would hope you all follow my Instagram page, BREEZY Takes Manhattan, and subscribe to the YouTube channel where this podcast will be broadcast. And I hope you all have an amazing Memorial Day, which by the time you see this will be over, but that's okay. Anybody listening, I thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope that you will continue to listen to the show as it progresses. And good night, everybody.